Hello, my name is Parama Ghosh. I am a junior at Dublin Jerome High School, interested in the School of Environment and Natural Resources. My research topic is how oil well emissions impact human health in Los Angeles, California. When oil was found in Los Angeles in December 1929, it faced regulations against drilling in inhabited areas. However, Los Angeles slowed down its restrictions on drilling on properties with the rise of the automotive industry and World War II, and became one of the biggest oil exporters globally. The risks of petroleum in a city include smog, fires, and the emission of toxic chemicals. The urban oil wells in the Los Angeles population affected residents' physical health as the locals experienced different respiratory distress like wheezing, irritation in the eye and nose, dizziness, and sore throat. Additionally, there have been new drilling ways like hydraulic fracking, which allows drillers to move fossil fuels that emit pollutants closer to people's backyards, and this is occurring to more communities of color. Figure 1 at the bottom of column 1 shows a map of Los Angeles and various oil sites in the region. These regions have demographics composed mainly of people of color and of the Latinx population. Therefore, these groups will be the most impacted by the harmful emissions of oil drilling. Next, in the materials and methods section at the top of column 2, there is a community-based study of 961 residents of two neighborhoods conducted from 2017 to 2019, and they collected data on how much air they could force out in an exhalation of 1 second, as well as a total exhalation of breath. Another study by the South Coast Air Quality Management Division and California Air Resources Board placed sensors called YPods to collect data on carbon dioxide, hydrocarbon, temperature, humidity, and nitrogen dioxide levels. Underneath the materials and methods section is figure 2, which shows the inside of the YPods and the various components. Inside, there's a particulate matter PM sensor, carbon dioxide sensor, and chips to allow it to store data. At the bottom of column 3, in figure 3, the results of the forced total exhalation shows a positive correlation with the amount of air exhaled with distance from an active well, demonstrating that the closer residents were to active well sites, the more difficulty they had exhaling breath. The YPods measured nitrogen dioxide levels and methane levels near well sites and found a positive correlation with proximity to oil well and migraine level of residents. At the top of column 3, in figure 3, various symptoms are shown in relation to distance from an active or inactive well. For all of the symptoms that were collected from local populations like wheezing, irritation in eyes, dizziness, and diarrhea, participants that were near active sites had the most symptoms, followed by if they were within 200 meters of a site, then further from 200 meters, and finally, they experienced the least symptoms if they were around an idle oil well. Moving on to future work beneath that figure. There have been some steps to stop neighborhood drilling due to a vote in 2022 labeling it as non-conforming land use. Many issues still need to be addressed, like the fact that inactive sites still emit some methane. Overall, there needs to be more protocol on the limits of emissions of wells and the building of these wells around communities, since there is evidence that it harms human health. With more exposure around wells, people will likely face the symptoms at a greater level and at a point where it becomes severe for their health. Solutions would be to stop oil drilling in the area, which is highly unlikely as the big oil companies profit greatly off of it, or for residents to move out of the area, which is also unlikely since there are tons of residents in Los Angeles. Thank you for your time, and I hope you learned about the detrimental effects of oil drilling.